Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new series. This game is Remnant II, and I have actually played quite a bit of this game before on one of my consoles, but however this will be my first time playing it on PC as well as just like mouse and keyboard. I haven't really done FPS shooters before on mouse and keyboard, so we'll see how this goes. I thought I would take a little break from Minecraft. There's a couple things that are kind of feel like I'm hitting my head against a wall for a little bit. I will talk about that more when the episode comes out. And I thought I might try something that I've been wanting to play on PC for a while because it seems to run the best here. I think it was made for PC initially. I already I don't know how. I'll talk about what I like about this game. This game has a pretty unique story compared to other games I've played. To put this game simply, and I hate calling it like this, but the easiest way to describe it is it's kind of like Dark Souls with guns. There's a lot more depth to that statement than what I just said, but that is a very easy comparison to make so far, I would say. I have a lot of fun with this game. It's got a lot of fun guns you can shoot with. There's a lot of different builds that work pretty well. You could do hardcore as well if you want. I will not be doing that because I'm kind of bad at this game, and I'm sure I'm going to be bad on mouse and keyboard. I already got like I said, my character's created how I want. As far as character creators go, this one's pretty simple, but it doesn't really need to be complex. You get to wear different outfits and different armor, and so you're not really going to see your character's face that often if you're wearing pretty good armor. We're going to select, well, I probably could do Nightmare. I think we're going to try Nightmare, and we can scale back potentially on a new run if I want to go back. Well, I'm going to start with nothing. Maybe we'll do better. I don't want to make it too hard. I think, yeah, we'll just do veteran. Let me double check that. That's X. Okay. I'm gonna have to learn the keybinds for everything because I didn't really take a look at what they were. So again, this is Remnant II. This is the second game in the Remnant series. I'll try to do a recap of what happened in the first game.
She says, if I wanted to feel sorry for myself, I'd have stayed with your father.
Ooh, that is quite a drop. Let me help you down.
I've got this. Shit! You okay?
And yep, that's the end of the game. We're dead. Good job. It was a pretty quick run. No, we're actually not dead, obviously. Sorry, it's just a dumb joke.
3.
What? Oh, please.
3 times I saved your life. The sinkhole, your foot. What? You'd be dead if my mom hadn't taught me to dress a wound. Fine. 2 times then. The sinkhole and just now. Ugh.
Hey, let me see that.
Leave it. It's nothing. Hey, I'm fine.
Come on. Roll up your sleeve and just admit we're friends already.
This is not an admission.
Let me see. It's getting worse.
Listen, it ain't broken or bleeding. It'll calm down. It always does. Let's go. The kid said the ward was this way.
Okay, here we are. The camera seems to control it a way that I like it. I might increase it if I feel like I can do better. To explain that beginning cutscene, none of what just happened really happened. What you just saw in that cutscene has anything to do with the first game. Like, we're two new characters to the series. Her talking about, or sorry, her name's Cass, I believe her name is. She like, all of this is just stuff that happened before this game, but not in the first game. Like, that this is the,
You
you're
ever
not
hear about
missing
the North
anything
Pole?
based on
North
what she
Pole?
was just saying.
That old fairy tale?
Yeah, like this ward. Old white guy founds it. Food and fresh water, everyone gets along. That sounds like the fairy tale to me. It's probably just a couple of old timers holed up underground. I just hope they got a few supplies for trade. Otherwise, we won't last much longer out here.
We're. Oop, I'll wait till then.
You think people actually
They
live
keep
like
talking.
What's... I'm not sure.
this? I don't know what's in that Fulton's original blend, but I never seen nobody that happy before. Not in real life.
So, I guess to kind of briefly say, oh, I can't. That was weird. It wasn't letting me move for a second. To briefly explain what happened, the world essentially went through like an alien apocalypse, and it was kind of like a zombie-esque apocalypse as well. Basically, there are these aliens called the Roots who infected our world with basically themselves. They were growing as these evil well, maybe not all of them are evil trees, but there was a lot of like red-leaved trees and stuff like that. They were growing throughout, like underground in the roof, and they were just killing everything. Cass, currently has like an infection on her arm. That is actually root rot, which is when the root actually infects inside a person's body. If left untreated, she would eventually turn possibly into a root monster that might try to kill me. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is a current threat and worry for herself. In the last game, we essentially won, and we're able to repel the majority of the Root's forces away from Earth. Like, they're just not actively invading here anymore. Any Root that's left over is just dying. It's just slowly losing, effectively. Like, we won in the first game. And this is now humanity starting to recover from that.
Locked. Great. We can't turn back now. Ain't got nowhere to go. There's gotta be another way through.
Can I run with shift? Yes, I can. Okay. Oh, I missed that. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, no. This movement is very new for me. 1 second. Okay, press space while moving. So I think it works better if you're running, though, yeah. At least it feels like it does. You can open this door with E, it looked like. Hello.
It's about time. What took you?
I will say, I don't know if I really like the dialogue in this game with most characters, at least human characters. Everybody is like slightly rude, except for, I don't know, maybe like 4 people.
Can't let it go to waste. You
Maybe
on
not.
that bum ankle of yours.
Oh, okay, she wants me
Hey,
to
look at this.
hit 'em button. Is that 1 or 2?
Hey, come on. Let's get some distance.
And it was
between
saying
us
you
and
had
these
one. Okay, that was, I think that was Bloodroot. It just gives you healing over time. You can see at the bottom of the screen my health
Over
bar,
here.
it's slowly increasing. The white bar is stamina, that's more so for dodging. And below that, all my buffs will like be displayed there. So that square down there that's counting down with the timer is my Bloodroot that's healing me for 5 more seconds roughly. There's a lot of different items you can use in this game, and I can't say that I know exactly how all of them interact with each other. But we'll see how it goes. There's also what makes this game really fun, in my opinion, is there's a big element of randomness to it. Basically, you explore different worlds that have like randomized maps, and each of those maps have injectable like randomized dungeons. Some of them are required, some of them are optional.
Nothing.
And
Something my mom
it's
used
just
to
really
say.
fun. This game has a lot of replayability if you want to, you know, just try to get everything. If you don't want to get everything, it kind of sucks, because if you just want items that'll help your build kind of thing. Oh, we gotta deal with this 1 second.
Deadwood! Shoot the damn thing!
Okay,
Nice shooting.
this feels
Hey, that
pretty
don't
good.
count, by the way.
Again, like I said, I haven't really played FPS shooters with mouse and keyboard before. I'm almost purely a controller player. And I thought it would be fun to try to challenge myself to learn better. I forget if there's anything over here. I don't think there is. But as I was saying, there's just a lot of random items to get. There's just a lot of random chance, and it feels fun. Because it's never the same. You don't always get the same items. Now, that being said, you could get the same items, and the most you wouldn't get really. You get like money rewards rather than like a second of that item. Usually, it depends on the item, I guess. So that's less fun. Yeah, we're dropping deep. This red stuff is kind of what I was meaning, by the way, earlier when I said like root was the aliens. Those monsters we fought were also root variants. They're just aliens, basically. Do I know how to dodge? Would it be control?
Starting to think looking for this ward.
No?
wasn't
I don't know how to dodge. Is it double space? Oh, it's double space. I'm so dumb. She's not having a good time. Sorry, that caught me off guard. We're trying to find this place called the Ward, because it's, as far as we're aware, it's supposedly a safe haven. And in the first game, we effectively were stuck in a place called Ward 13. It kind of was a safe house that we ended up getting stuck in, the player character in that game.
Guess the Deadwood ain't all gone after all.
She's calling the root the Deadwood.
Ain't no way the ward.
They're both interchangeable. They're
With
the
a
same
mess
thing.
like this out here, you know, maybe best we head back. We retrace our steps. We can find another way out.
Okay, this.
Not-
She's
not
shooting
fair.
me.
Tell me this is
I feel
not
like she was
happening.
shooting me. Oh, I think I'm gonna die, actually. She is taking a lot of the aggro. Although, I didn't mean to press that. I don't know what I pressed. Yeah, I'm not winning this fight. Okay. Oh, you're still alive. Don't worry, that was supposed to happen.
No!
I just wanted to still win. Ouchie.
Not today, assholes! Hey, this is 3, by the way. You know, right here makes for 3. Oh, shit! Hey, listen. For what it's worth, you were a good friend. You were a good friend.
And somebody pressed the pause button on them. We're in that one Adam Sandler movie where, I think it's called Click, you get a universal remote. No, that's not what's happening, but that is what I first thought of when I saw this scene.
It's okay. You're safe. Whoa, whoa, hold up. We're friends. We're here to help.
Can't hold this forever, Bo!
And there she is. I think she is my favorite character in this game. Her name's Clementine. We'll learn a little bit more about her. That's a weird looking rock. And we're healed.
Thanks. Who are you?
Questions later. We gotta get moving. On three. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
That's all I got. You're on your own now.
Hey, we still got each other.
Right. Follow us, you two. That won't be the last of them.
Our current number of buddies has increased. We got a man who, Clementine called him
Rude or
Bo.
thick
He's
down
new to
here.
this game.
Must be
And
what I
Clementine
felt back
was
at the
from
Wait.
a DLC in the first game. And she has some pretty cool story stuff.
Maybe Santa's real
Am I
too.
reloaded?
Yeah,
No, I was not.
it's not far from here. But the way down collapsed behind us. We're gonna have to find another way out.
I don't believe there's any other items we can get, so I'm not really looking around. There's one. I missed. I'm not doing bad, but I don't think I could be doing better. Probably shouldn't be wasting all this ammo. Let's see, I can switch weapons with X. Oh, if I didn't say it earlier as well, this game is multiplayer as well. It's up to 3 people online co-op, and you can. It's pretty easy to find random people as well, and it's usually fun. People, I think, in this game have been not horrible. We'll say that, I guess. It's. I don't think it's really that toxic, but I could be mistaken. This game also has 3 DLCs. I think I have them in the edition that I bought, so that'll be fun going through. DLCs for this game kind of just look like... How do I explain it? It's just like a kind of a side... Well, it's not really a side story every time, but you just get more stuff for a certain area. For each DLC, I guess. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Without, well, I'll show you guys when we get to the point. We might run into the DLCs, we also might not. I could, like, guarantee what's called a one-shot run for that DLC if I just want to experience that DLC's, like, new content and story. But, well, we'll see where the series goes. I kind of already know a lot about this game, so I'm not really sure how entertaining that is for somebody who's already played this game. For other people to watch that, if it's their first time, they'd probably just want to play it themselves.
Something's here. The dead would know they've lost. But they won't go down without a fight.
Hello, I'm not on the gun I want, and I need to press X. Gosh, this is a weird first boss. As, I just think he moves around a little bit too much. But maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of bosses that move probably faster than this. Want this ammo. So far we're doing pretty good. I don't actually know what happens if you... Can you lose this fight? Because I think, oh, ouch. Bo, the other man with us here, can, he's got, like, that rock he used to heal us earlier, and I think he can use it again. Or, I think for this fight he probably can use it as many times as you need to win. Ouch. I'm just missing. Please stay away from me. Oh gosh, I'm almost dead. I am dead. Looks like he's healing me again with a rock. Oop, we got interrupted though. Okay. This is not looking good. I am glad I picked the easier difficulty. Or like the, it's the second easiest one, I guess. Veteran, I think it's called. We got something called root ganglia, and it should be a trait point behind there, although it's not. Yep, there it goes, trait point.
Not bad shooting, traveler.
Yeah, I had some practice.
I'll bet. But don't worry. The ward's as safe a place as any. Safer. So, it's really real. Food and water and folks living with some old white guy? More or less.
Whoa, whoa, let me get you some water.
I'm fine.
Cass.
Ooh, that looks like root rot. I've never seen a case this bad.
I'm fine. I don't know why everyone...
We need to get her to the ward, and quick. Doctor, there's her only chance. We'd better get moving, or we lose the light.
There we go. We successfully got through the main tutorial. I think there's a couple minor tutorials around Ward 13, which is the ward we're currently heading to. Spoiler alert.
Oh dear.
This is Wriggler.
Call me Riggs. I got you, darling. Don't worry, friend. We'll take good care of her. Welcome to Ward 13.
Hey, don't worry. Riggs is right. She'll be fine.
Are you okay?
Just a headache.
Hey, Clementine. Let me get you some water.
I'm fine.
Oh, you're not fine. You need rest.
Bo! He's the ward's mayor. Thinks that puts him in charge of everything and everyone. Listen, I'm gonna check in with Ford, and then I'll get some rest. Okay? I've been through a lot worse, you know.
So, traveler, your friend will be fine. I'm Bo Ward, and this is Ward 13. You must have come a long way. I mean, the route's dwindling and all, but The road's still a dangerous place. What were you two doing out there?
It doesn't really, okay, I only bring this up. There is like minor conversation, like you mostly just talk to people to get information out of them. There is a couple instances where the choices you make actually matter for like getting certain items or maybe traits, and I can explain that as we get to them because I don't remember all of them right now. For now, we were looking for you actually for this ward.
For the ward? Really? Huh. I didn't know anybody knew what we were doing here. We've just, we've been cut off from the world for so long that... Well, I'm surprised people know about us outside the gate. Feels kind of nice, actually. Hey, ask around if you need something. Oh, start with Ford. I'm sure he'd like to meet you.
There we go. And yeah, like I said earlier, in the first game, this kind of outside area, we're outside Ward 13 technically, even though they're still calling this Ward 13. This was like the tutorial space in the first game, because you start the game by like heading towards Ward 13, kind of. And a part of it, you run along this little circuit up here. I don't really, I guess, know what the point, or what you would call this. It's just like a bridge, I guess, that just juts out to the sea. It gets to the scaffolding. You walk by it. That's just children. And you go out like this way. And the actual area that is technically Ward 13 is down that way. It is like a little safety bunker under the ground, and they were surviving in there because, you know, it was the apocalypse. They were trying to survive the route underground, basically. That guy's a cool guy. I'll talk to him in a bit. Kind of forgot he was there. It's a little hard to describe. Let's go talk to Ford, who is right up here.
I don't remember asking for your permission.
Watch your tone, young lady.
You can kind of eavesdrop on them if I
I'm
don't.
132 years old, in case you forgot. And I am not your child. You don't have authority over me.
On this, I do. This town needs you. You can't go wandering off after something that might not even exist.
Oh, that's rich. What have you been doing the last 100 years then, huh? What the hell are you doing right now?
Well, that's different. I'm trying to fix things.
Things that you broke when you tried to play God.
That was Harsgard. I was just following orders. I didn't...
Oh, and that makes it okay? You know how many people died because you just followed orders?
Of course I know. You think I don't remember that every goddamn day? I'm trying to make things right here.
So am I. You're such a damned hypocrite, Ford. If I leave, it's my fault. But you didn't break the world. You didn't run after a pipe dream. You didn't abandon your family a dozen times over.
Look, I've made a lot of mistakes. I admit that. But it's because of those mistakes that I'm telling you not to do the same thing.
Well, forgive me if I don't want to take advice from the men who fucked up the world in the first place. I'm not your dreamer anymore. Maybe I've got my own mission.
These people need you, Clementine. You're too important to just...
Every person out there is capable of taking care of themselves. This isn't about them. It's about you. You've always run away from your problems, but you won't let me run toward something. What are you so goddamned afraid of?
Of losing you, losing them, losing everything.
I've already lost everything! You took it from me. You, Neville, Harsgard. The whole goddamned project. I don't belong here. I never did. I'm tired of pretending I do.
Look, you put yourself through a lot today. You're tired. Get some rest, huh? Things will feel better tomorrow.
You know how I... You know I used to look up to you. The way you seemed strong enough to save the world. Except I've already saved it, haven't I? And what have you done?
I can't let you go near that place, Clementine. That's an order.
You haven't learned a damned thing, Ford. Out of my way.
I forgot how long that conversation was, I'm sorry guys, but it was really interesting. They talked about a lot of things. First off, Clementine, I think she mentioned she's 132 years old? And Ford is like maybe 30 years older, 40. Essentially, events preceding to the apocalypse that happened. Ford was a part of a military research team with a man named Harsgard who was doing some wacky experiments with some rocks they found underground. Effectively, they found out they could do special things with these rocks. Most notably, it would let them like teleport to other worlds slash dimensions question mark. And through those experimentations, Ford was someone who was able to connect to the rocks, and he could teleport around. He was an explorer kind of thing. And a byproduct of that exploration is he was functionally immortal. Now, on the other side of the coin, excuse me, sorry, is what Clementine was, which was a dreamer in that project. That was part of the earlier stages of the project as well, before they were able to fully contact another like world, basically. This is how they connected. Clementine was a dreamer. They were hooked up to big machines. Not everybody could be a dreamer either. You had to be like, I forget the types of language they used to describe it, but you have to be a right fit to be a dreamer, like mentally, biologically, stuff like that. Clementine was a really good candidate to be a dreamer, and she was selected for the project. They were forcibly put to sleep using various medicinal drugs. They were hooked up to big machines so that they could catalog and like connect her consciousness to the crystal. She connected with another being in a different world, and that is how they were able to determine that there were multiple worlds, respectively. It's a little more complex than what I'm saying, but that's the gist of it. She didn't like it. She connected hard enough to the person in the other world she was connected to as a dreamer, and she was able to just like teleport out of this reality into that one. And that's where she's been for a couple hundred years. That also seemed to have given her immortality, either based on the person she connected to or just the whole process in general. And she also has some cool anti-root powers. She, like she said in her argument with Ford, she helped basically push away the root from Earth to remove them from this plane of existence, essentially. Harsgard was the lead scientist who basically caused the apocalypse. He kind of went mad with, not power per se, but he felt like he was... I don't think he ever said he was a prophet. He thought he was the only one worthy of humanity to become with the root, to be like one with the root. He felt like he was enlightened with that. He was chosen kind of thing by the root to also, you know, lead humanity down this path. He wasn't really tricked. He fully knew, I think, at some points that he was betraying humanity, but he felt like it was worth it. Let's go ahead and talk to Ford for now. He's looking very old. He looks a lot older than he looked in the first game, and you did get to meet him in the first game.
Whoa, what have we here? Ah, the Traveler, of course. Wallace said yes, right on time. Sorry you had to see that. But then again, you've been around. I'm sure you know, families fight, Andrew Ford. Good to make your acquaintance.
Um, I'll just say Ford question mark.
In the flesh.
And we'll say, but how? They say you're hundreds of years old.
I'm sure you've got a lot of questions, and I've got a favor to ask. So let's get to it. You first.
If you're really the Ford that built this place, how are you alive? Again, he also he was a part of the project that built all the different wards. This is Ward 13. I think we know of up to 17 wards, if I remember the story, or at least I remember there being a Ward 17 mentioned. These were basically the facilities that they were doing these different dreamer experiments with the crystals and the stuff. You can actually, I think, see maybe a crystal there. That might be something else. If you're really the Ford that built this place, how are you alive?
That's a longer story than I can indulge right now. Let's keep it to this. You know how some things you drink can make you drunk? And some things you eat can make you sick or sleepy? Well, other things do this. It's a big world out there.
That's not really an answer.
It's a great answer, just not a full one.
Rude. He's a rude man. He's a rude bastard man. Were you expecting me? Because he did mention Wallace told him about a traveler arriving.
Not you precisely, as in name, rank, serial number, but I knew someone was coming. Our young
How?
Wallace told me.
How would Wallace know?
Wallace? He's a special kid. A lot like somebody I used to know. She had bad dreams too. Dreams about things that hadn't yet come to pass.
That's a little cryptic.
If you can find me someone who can explain it better, bring him in.
So he was talking about Wallace was a child in the first game. Your player character in that game met him, talked to him. He asked about not his biological big brother, I think, but his adoptive big brother. He ended up dying to save you or help you in the first game at the beginning. Not really a spoiler. It happens right after the tutorial. And that's all he was. Wallace was just a little kid. He is grown up now. I think it's been I don't know, 7, 10 years since the events of the first game. It might be shorter than that. Wallace looks more like a young adult right now rather than a child. And the person Ford was talking about, who also had bad dreams like Wallace, was his... I don't think they ever got divorced. I'm going to say ex-wife, because I don't think they ever really fully made up. Ford's ex-wife was... Oh, what was her name? Oh, I feel so bad. I don't remember her name. She was also in the Dreamer Project. When the apocalypse happened, Ford was able to save her and a bunch of people, and they went out to try to find a safe place to hide. And because his wife was a part of the Dreamer Project, she actually ended up making a connection with the root itself. She was able to tell what they were thinking. And at one point, this is after a couple of years of running, I think, she finds out that the root are sending a giant monster to eradicate this large group of people that Ford is keeping around. That is at least one thing the big monster is going to do. It might also do other things. So she was like, okay, I am going to make myself a part of the root. I'm going to let the root infect me and let myself, my consciousness, be a part of the root so that I can lie to them inside of their own, connected consciousness network. I can give them false information. She does that. She saves Ford and the people who eventually became the members of Ward 13. And she kind of stays like that for a long time. She doesn't die. She gets a form of immortality similar to Ford, but she is just a part of the root. When we meet her in that game, she's called the Root Mother. She is kind of strapped to a chair in a church with all the roots growing around her. She's like, oh yes, I have all the information, but I can't I can't tell you any of it because I'm still connected to the root. So in that game, she tears herself away from the root. She still is not quite herself, but she is also more than what she used to be. In a sense, she has all the information she's gained from the root over the years. And then, yeah, she just helps you in that game. And Wallace is somebody who also seems to have similar powers, or at least a prognostation? What's it called? Prognostication? He can see the future, kind of, it seems like. And she also seemed to have some kind of foresight as well. Let's ask about the favor Ford wants to do.
Oh, nothing too dangerous. I've got to marshal my resources. And then we'll get into it in earnest.
I'd like to know more about the people living here.
Quite a few characters around here. I'll warrant you that.
Why were you and Clementine fighting?
Arguing's not the same as fighting. Clem and I have known each other longer than anyone else here. That's a lot of water to put under a narrow bridge.
We do already know that she is older than 19, so we'll ask her abilities. Do they hurt her?
Nosebleeds, headaches, and I worry about worse. Things we can't see so easy. It's not like there's a manual.
Bo, the man we met who helped us when we were fighting earlier, seems to be a little young to be the mayor.
Compared to who? Bo might be young, but he knows the run of a ward. Learned from the best. He was orphaned, just a kid. Ward 13 sort of adopted him. Ran security when he got old enough. Did a damn good job of it. Only made sense to put him in charge once we started up here.
I don't believe Bo was in the first game. If he was, I just don't remember him. The previous mayor of Ward 13 was Ellen Ford? That is Mr. Ford's, this guy. That's his granddaughter, I believe. And that is the person we interacted with in the first game when we arrived in Ward 13. She was running it shipshape kind of thing, trying to keep it a tight, efficient schedule, because they're trying to survive the apocalypse. It kind of makes sense to kind of be hard on people. Is Riggs really as nice as he seems? He is. I will spoil that right now. He's a very nice man.
A soul in town has lost as much as Riggs. Don't know how that man gets up out of bed every day. But he does. And we're damn thankful.
I have some other questions, but I also
sure I
don't
can get
think
you up
there's
to
any
speed.
other options. Yeah, I don't have any other options. That's it for now.
All right, traveler. Now that you've shot your shot, here's mine. I need an able young scrapper to help an old man out. Talk to Wally. You'll find him out by the docks. After that, gear up, and then meet me at the ward gate. I'll tell you a story.
Okay, we got a little side quest. First of all, there's a chest right here. It doesn't let me interact with it, though. We'll eventually be able to interact with that. It's a combination lock. Let's take a quick peek and talk to Clementine. See how she's
I'm
doing.
not talking about this right now.
Never mind. I thought she would have dialogue for us. I was wrong about that. So we want to go to Wally. That is Wallace, who we was discussing earlier, and he said he's by the docks. So let's just go straight there. We'll have time to talk to everyone around us. This guy...
Just gonna toss these bones.
Oh gosh, I'm getting flashbacks. I'm sorry for these two.
Throw them in the pot, add some water, a potato, you got yourself a stew.
This guy has a very annoying, like, consumable side quest
You're gonna help
where
me, right?
there's a chance he'll ask you for an ingredient that he wants for like a special stew he's making, and it's just random chance when he wants to ask it from you. You can have all the ingredients you need, you could have everything, all your ducks lined in a row, but he will not, he just won't ask for it until he wants to. And there's very specific conditions when he has even the chance to ask for it. So I'd say that's one of the most annoying things in the game, but there might be room for others. We'll find out. We're going to go up here to talk to Wally, because we can see Wallace's icon right there. And Wallace is a little weird, but he's kind of funny. I think he's a little funny.
I see you, traveler.
Hi. Yeah.
You're the one Ford's been waiting for. Though, he doesn't know he's been waiting. He thinks he needs help. It's her who needs it.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
You know. And you don't. Sorry, I shouldn't say. Things get messier when I tell them. I'm Wallace. Did I say that yet? Probably. The site, you know? Sorry, I probably said that already too.
Wallace, yeah, Ford told me to see you.
You have a path to walk. You choose the first step here, but your path can change if you want it to.
He is allowing us to pick the different classes, or archetypes, sorry, I'll use their language. These are effectively just different classes, though. You get different skills for each one. This one's a medic, this one's really good for multiplayer. I probably won't do that much multiplayer, so I probably should avoid that one. Although it is very beneficial even, like you can heal yourself really well in this one. This one is by all means not a purely multiplayer one. Hunter's a pretty fun one. You can do quite a bit of damage early on with its special things. Very long range. This also determines the starting guns you get as well in equipment, so you can see the Challenger, this guy had a big sword on his back, whereas this guy mostly had this long gun rifle, and I don't even know what that is. It's whatever. My favorite starting class is this one. This is the one I did first. You get a pet dog to help you fight. I think I might go with this just because I think it's fun. You get these different skills. Well, you'll eventually unlock them. You don't actually start out with all of them. I think we'll just start out with this version of the dog, but I think it would be fun to have a little dog friend. So let's go ahead and select the handler archetype.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense now.
It seems like this is the right path, question mark?
You're right, of course. Your path is waiting. Tell Brabus and McCabe I sent you. They have what you need. They're the next step on your journey. Until next time.
So we got a lot of items. It actually gave us the handler outfit armor. I should have mentioned that. You also get a unique armor for that. Let's dismiss all. And let's check out our inventory. Is it I maybe? Ooh. Okay, it opened up this menu at least. So yeah, this is our character. This is our kind of equipment. These are the armor slots, so helmet, body, legs, and gloves, even though it looks more like shoulder pads, but I guess it's an arm guard. We'll get to the relic stuff later. We can have 2 guns equipped. One is a long gun. Generally heavier range, longer range kind of thing. Heavier fire, sometimes. It depends. And the handguns are just smaller. They're usually more for quick combat, I guess. But that can vary based on there's a lot of different guns, so there's room to bend the rules. There is a melee weapon. I currently don't have a melee weapon. I think we're about to go get one when we go downstairs. One other thing that I think is really cool is you actually can get a second archetype equipped. You don't have to have just one, and you can switch them as you get them, essentially. You do need to level them up separately, so right now I'm level 0 for handler. If I were to get a second archetype, I don't have to equip it right away. I could just swap between this one and whatever my second one is. So there's a lot of customization with that. This side has amulets and 4 slots for rings. Those really help the build depending on what equipment you get. Like I said, a lot of this is randomized, so we're going to just try to make a build work with the items we get. And this spot over here kind of tells us what points, what traits we currently have points in. So kinship only has 1, expertise has 3 points, vigor has 1, endurance has 1. These points are based on, or at least these starting points are based on whatever your archetype, so different archetypes will have different ones. And, or sorry, they'll have different ones like allocated differently, effectively. And each archetype has a unique trait that the other ones don't get, so the unique trait for The Handler archetype is Kinship. This will reduce friendly fire damage dealt and received by 8%. This is only really going to take an effect if I accidentally harm my dog friend. We probably won't worry about it right now. Since we did that Root Mantis boss earlier, we also have a trait point that we can allocate so far into only these ones. I think we probably want health at the beginning, so I'm going to put that point in health, and we have to commit changes with C. Yes. Okay, now we got plus 6 health, which I'm sure if I went... I thought there was a way I could see my health bar. Is it R? Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Yeah, okay, we're at 106 health now, and I think we were at 103 based on the last level. Okay. This is our inventory. We don't got much. We got a root ganglia crafting material. There's eventually going to be a character we can give this to, and she'll turn it into either weapons or a mod that we can put on our weapons. I'll explain mods as we get there. Let's go back to that menu, actually, because... So each archetype has different categories of benefits. So skills, these are active effects. You press a button to make the skill happen. Our current skill is Guard Dog. Our companion, our dog, basically will follow the handler and generate 15% increased threat while attacking. Threat means enemies are more likely to attack whoever has a higher threat level, so in this case the dog. All damage to them is reduced by 20%, so our dog is basically currently running as a tank. These are just, you don't have to press a button for that part to take effect. That just happens. Or that's a passive effect on the dog. If I press my ability button once, the companion will engage to enemies close to them. If I double tap, I'll return the dog back to my side. And if I hold the button, I cause the dog to howl and reduces damage by 15% to all allies within 20 meters. And the companion generates additional threat, lasts 20 seconds. They can just be a super guard dog. We also have the Prime perk. This only really matters when you have two separate archetypes. Effectively, whatever is in this left side one will be considered your prime archetype, while as this right side one's secondary. If you have a prime archetype, you get that prime perk's effects, whereas you wouldn't get the prime perk's effects of a secondary archetype, but you could just switch them back and forth. You would just benefit the skills and the perks and whatever the unique trait is from the secondary archetype. So for Handler, we get the Bonded Prime perk. When Handler is downed, Companion will attempt to revive them at 50% max health. Can be used to revive allies with command. Down ally must have a relic charge, and I'll explain that. Basically, if I die, my dog friend can get me back up, and then there's a cooldown of 2 minutes before he can do that again per encounter, or fight, or whatever you want to call it. And at the top left, you can also see my dog has a health bar. I don't actually know what the crosshair thing on the dog means. I'm guessing... Okay, it looks like Q. I'm guessing that determines what the dog's current action is, so I think he's following me for now. So if I single press... Okay, that changed it to like a shield mode. Oh, I told him to guard that child by accident, I guess, and now I'm telling him to go there. And if I double press... The dog is now guarding me, so I think I should keep him on that. And you can see I have that dog skill on the bottom right of my screen. I'm pressing Q to activate it. That seems pretty easy to do. Let's go ahead and talk to Brabus.
Well, ain't you a right mutter? Traipsing in here like you own the place.
Wallace told me to see you. He said you were, the next step in my journey.
That boy what talks to the root? I don't trust Wally with a hot meal. But I also ain't dumb enough to cross him. I don't reckon he was any more specific.
Something about my path?
Right. Well, the boy's crazy, but he ain't stupid. And I can see your gear is, lacking, to say the least. If he asks, you tell him I gave you this. No charge. Riggs is gonna talk my
We
ear
got
off if I don't
unique
send you over to him next,
weapons.
isn't it? Fine. Go see Riggs then. Tell him he can do whatever the hell he wants.
So this character Barabbas was actually also in the first game, but he kind of was a bad guy. He was a random chance like boss at the end of a dungeon. He ran basically a bandit group that was just trying to survive. They would rob other people as well to survive, and it kind of ended badly. He has a father who is he's sitting kind of over there. We'll talk to him for sure. He has a lot to talk about. You could make him your friend in the first game, optionally, kind of. Like, you can basically reunite him with his dad to make him more friendly. I wanted to... Yeah. So these 3 weapons he gave us are unique also to the Handler archetype. Any character could eventually get any weapon from any class, but this is just my starting weapons, and this one actually happens to be a really good one. This is if I go back to character, the Black Maw AR-47. It is just, I don't know the technical name for guns. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call this a automatic rifle. I feel like that sounds right. And yeah, I just hold the button and it's pretty easy to aim it, and it does a fair amount of damage. I should also mention this is a shooting range. This is a very good place to test all your different weapons. It gives you infinite ammo as well, as you can see on the bottom right. It says infinite. If I walk out, it should go back to its whatever it is. And he also gave us this one, which is also an automatic. This one fires really fast, but it I guess that's a fair amount of damage. I'm not really sure. Real quick, let's talk to Ava McCabe before we talk to Riggs. Because I think that makes more sense. I think Wallace told us to talk to Ava first.
My mother. Did Bo send you over here, or did you stumble your way over here yourself?
Actually, Wally sent me. He said you could help me with my journey.
Shit. You're serious, aren't you? Alright, so what the hell is this journey?
I don't actually know.
I swear.
I mean,
If
I
was so
do, but
goddamn
my
right all
character
the time,
doesn't.
He and I'd be having words. Percussive ones. Fine. Well, the only reason anyone bothers me is because I'm good with a hammer. So either I can modify your weapons, or we can find a more creative use for it. Tell you what. I heard you picked up something strange on your little jaunt earlier. Maybe I could do something with it.
Merchants. Merchants buy and sell items for scrap. Merchants in Ward 13 sell a variety of items, including weapons, armor, consumables, and even stew. Other merchants can be found within the game world, selling a number of unique items. So yeah, we're in the buy menu. We don't have scrap, or we have 102 scrap, but we don't have enough scrap to really get anything. But what she was talking about is crafting. NPCs throughout the world and Ward 13 can be used to craft new items, weapon mods, boss weapons, armor, etc. Each crafting recipe has a number of required materials plus scrap which are required to craft that item. So in this case, the root ganglia we found earlier can be used to craft one of these 4 mods. And you can eventually, as you see, each of these mods are for sale for 1500 scrap. So we can get them all, but this first one, I think I'm gonna go for the scrap shot. This will fire a little trap on the ground, a little, like, caltrops traps, if I'm pronouncing that right. Just a bunch of spikes on the ground. If enemies stand on them, they get the bleeding effect, which will do damage over time. They are also slowed so that they just move slower, and I have more time to react. I think that's going to be really good. So let's go ahead and craft that. And it should also automatically put it on
That
our
ought to help with
weapon.
whatever journey he saw you on. Just tell Wally to be more specific next time. Yeah? So we're done here, right? Or do I need the hammer again?
I have a few
And
questions,
let me
although
save
she
you some
does
time
not
so you
like
don't
that.
keep nattering on. We used to live in that building over there. Then a stranger came. We called them the Wanderer. You might have noticed everyone gets a handle here. Anyway, they show up and stop the route. Now, we live in these buildings here. That clear it up for you? And me? I keep it real simple. Less to worry about that way.
I guess I'll leave.
Look, it's not personal. I just don't like being distracted. I get into a zone, you know? Pisses me off when people come by and interrupt my me time. But I'll tell you what. You're clearly not the average stray that shows up here. So I'll make you a deal. You find anything interesting out there, bring it back to me and I'll see if I can use it to mod your weapons. Okay?
Thanks, McCabe.
Oh, and if you tell anyone I was nice to you, I will cut you.
So yeah, as McCabe was saying, they once lived in Ward 13 down there. She was actually in the first game as well. She did basically the exact same thing she says she's doing now. She'll modify our weapons for us or create modifications that we can use for our weapons. You may now notice at the bottom right of the screen on my Black Maw weapon, that circle is filled in with something. That is the modification I just got. Mods basically like charge up how much you're using the gun. There's other ways to charge it up as well. And as you can see, I can press F to, if I do this, if I press F, it changes the firing of my gun to the weapon mod's firing, which is scrap shot. It'll tell me a little arc where I'll put the scrap shot. I'll put it right there. And as you can see, these are now bleeding over time. It's a little disconcerting to think that these things have blood in them, but I mean, what else would you do for like a shooting range for testing guns? And as you can also see, I had 2 shots of that when it was fully charged. And now you can also see, as I'm firing this gun, the mod itself is charging up. There's that bar in the background charging up, as well as like the ring around the circle. They both are the same thing. They're just telling me how close I am to getting another charge of my mod. And we can get a lot of different mods. That really helps with the builds in this game, which is why another thing I really like about this game. Let's go ahead and talk to Riggs, probably the nicest character, I think.
Oh, friend. Glad to see you're all right. What can I do for you?
You're Wriggler, right?
That's right, but everybody calls me Riggs. I try to keep folks safe out there. My specialty is armor and weapons upgrades. Speaking of which, Bo mentioned you might need some help getting your feet back under you. Well, whatever you need, don't be afraid to ask. We all help each other out here. Even McCabe.
Brabus told me to see you.
I don't suppose he was more particular about why.
He said you were gonna talk his ear off if I didn't, or if he didn't.
Ha, yeah, that sounds like Brabus. Right. Well, I've got a pretty focused skill set. I reckon I know what he means. Come to me if you ever need to upgrade your equipment.
And, like I said, upgrading some characters can upgrade your items with materials found in the world or by defeating enemies. Upgrading is essential to keeping up with increasingly difficult enemies in the game. We'll be going back to Riggs a lot. Yeah, he just upgrades. It requires scrap and some form of iron. We have enough for 1 upgrade, and I think it's worth upgrading our Black Maw. There we go.
Be safe out there.
I also didn't mention we have a melee weapon as the handler. If you look on my backpack on the right side, it's that claw-looking weapon. If I press, I think just left trigger. Yep. Or not left trigger, I don't know. Left click. We just punch. There's a lot of different melee weapons. There's a lot of like swords, axes, big swords, like baseball bat frickin' things. For these ones, they're just like claws. Their whole thing is that they're really quick, and there's a couple different combos that the game doesn't really innately tell you. The most basic combo is usually a 3-hit. Most weapons have a 3-hit. If you... I don't know how to do it. Is it just... Okay. What I'm doing right now is called a neutral dodge. I am not moving, and I'm just pressing the spacebar once to initiate that I want to dodge. This is a very useful dodge in the game. If you can learn how to do this, it's probably the best way to dodge, unless you're doing a weird build. But it has some unique interactions with the melee attacks as well. So, for instance, this is my normal combo. Just the 3-hit. If I hold the button, I do a heavy attacks more. which has its also unique combo. If I do a neutral dodge into a heavy attack, it did that 2-hit thing. So this one's not as impressive to maybe have a neutral dash combo kind of thing. But there's a lot of other weapons that have stuff like that. There's a lot of cool, weird interactions, and I kind of wish they made it more clear that that is a thing you can do. It doesn't work on just like normal dodges. That was just like a normal hit. Let's see. We are now ready to talk to Ford, so let's go ahead and go to him. He should be down here. Let's talk to this guy actually really quick, because he's a little weird. He's definitely not human.
Greetings. Forgive me. I am not good with Paxel-Tech faces.
Who or what are you?
Oh, it is new. I thought I had seen it before. So difficult to tell Paxel-Tech apart without hoof and horn. I am Za Israk Thadwell. My Paxel-Tech name is Dwell. I sell wares crafted using refined crystals from my world. They make Paxel-Tech faster, stronger, more powerful. They help it defeat its enemies. And the prices are quite fair.
I'd like to ask you some questions first. I forget how many he has. He might have a lot. What are you?
Yes, that is always the question. I am Pan, from the world of Yesha, where the Eternal Empress reigns, the Doe and Ravager run free, and the balance breathes life to the jungle. Or so it used to be.
Is that not how things are now?
Alas, it is not. Long and long have the Immortals oppressed the common Pan, wielding their power as if it were something they had earned or deserved. The Pan have rebelled against this tyranny, and for a time, it looks as if we could win. Then the pestilence came. What Paxel-Tech call the Root. When I last saw her, Yesha languished under the pestilence. The Ravager prowls, and the Doe is lost. The rebellion continues, but my people ache for relief.
I don't think I'll ask specifically all these questions, as they're kind of mostly minor. This guy's name is Dwell. His name is, and his tongue is a little difficult for me to pronounce, but we'll just call him Dwell. He's a merchant. He does some special crystal things with crystals from his world. Again, he's from a different world. He's just here to help us in our way, and he's got a lot of complicated stuff right now, that looks like, but we'll get back to Dwell when we get stuff called relic fragments, as well as maybe prisms. I don't actually know when we get our first prism. That's a good point.
The Paxel-Tech's path lies before.
He is from a world called Yesha. Yesha was another world that we got to go to in the last game. Actually, I did also forget to mention, there was a prequel game made as well that also has to do with Yesha specifically. We'll hear more about that as we go forward. Let's go ahead and talk to Ford, though.
Now you look like you could help an old man take on the world. You ready to do this?
Yes, let's
Then
go.
let's not waste any more time. This way. Still smells like home. Here, take this. Just crank the handle to make it work. This used to be a
There we go, we got a
research
flashlight
facility,
now.
cutting edge. We did things down here nobody dreamed of. Not before nor since. Yet, for all our manpower, we didn't know what the stones really were. Until it was too late.
I wish I could walk slower.
The World Stones. Giant red crystals that let us see into other worlds, even travel to them. So, what? We just hide the stones away and hope the Soviets haven't found their own. No. We had to know everything there was to know about them. It was a matter of national security, of pride. So, yeah, we opened the door and walked through.
But something was waiting on the other side.
It didn't happen right away. Hell, the inhabitants of the worlds we traveled to couldn't follow us. We thought we were safe. But yeah, the root found a way. After that, well, we all know what happened after that.
Oh, it's locked. I guess we better give up.
Well, this is my house. Come on. I gave Ellen a few things to hang on to in case of emergency. She must have hidden it around here. Come on, Ellie, where'd you hide it?
I would also like to mention, I forgot to do this, you can in fact pet the dog. And it does actually give the dog like a healing bonus for a couple seconds when you do it. So it is worth petting the dog in this game. Yeah, this is Ward 13. This is actually very much what it looked like in the first game. You spend a lot of time just walking through this area. This was Ellen's office. I mentioned Ellen was the previous mayor. Or at least the mayor in the first game, maybe not the previous mayor. This is also a picture of a lighthouse. I don't know if it's the same lighthouse as, if it's the same place. This was a very important structure in the first game. Your main character in the first game's whole goal was to get to that building. We'll just say it like that. We got a matchbook
we call it
and a dragon heart.
Dragon heart. Don't ask why. Take it with you. You might need it.
Did he already go downstairs? Yes, he did. Sorry, I thought I heard him back in there. So we got a dragon heart. This is very similar. In fact, this is the exact same thing that Bo was using to heal us. For those of you that have played Dark Souls, this effectively works as like an Estus flask. I can press 1, it'll play a little animation, and I would heal myself, and if I go to a checkpoint and rest there, it will recharge the uses of the Dragon Heart. In this game, it's mostly denoted as a relic. It is called a relic. Let us right mouse button inspect.
Take a look at that matchbook you found. I got a hunch.
And if I happen to look at the bottom of it, some items you'll be able to inspect and interact with them. That is kind of just a little tutorial for that. And it's revealed the key is in there. Let's go ahead and use the key. I pressed the wrong button.
Is that
the World Stone? Yes. Or part of it, anyway. Every shard's as useful as the whole. We shut it down after Harsgard died. Like I told Ellen at the time. The damn thing's more dangerous than useful. Huh. Of course not. Never mind.
Now that's a little weird. What the heck is that about?
Now, let's see if that worked.
Work to do what, exactly? Holy shit.
So many years. So many journeys. I wonder if the Andrew Ford who first touched this crystal, did he ever come back? Go back. Tell Bo to bury this place. Not just lock it away, but get some explosives and bury it in a tomb of concrete. More dangerous than useful, traveler. Remember that.
Ford! Ford! Oh, man. Bo is gonna be pissed.
Bastard did it. He actually woke it up.
Clementine? Hey.
Did he tell you how to use it? Do I even want to?
System failure is imminent. The core has been compromised. The utility is required. Commencing acquisition.
Clementine!
Don't let go! No, I'm slipping! Don't let it take me!
Clementine! Shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, no, don't do it. Don't you do it. Oh, this is so stupid.
And there is our call to adventure. Now let's see where it takes us. Oh, we got this one. Okay, that's cool. I am also going to get some new items. I think you get these items whenever you officially start the game. We are now officially out of the tutorial, and we're at a very pretty looking place, all things considered. I got some new armor because I got... Basically, it came with the edition of the game I bought. I can show that off real quick, I guess. We also got some new items. Essentially, these were armor sets in the first game. I probably won't use them if I can help it. I really do like this Radiant set, though. It is pretty... You have to manage, like, armor weight with the benefit of armor, I guess. But I probably won't use these because not everybody who's watching this probably has access to it, so it's fine. These were just cool armor sets in the first game that you just got to keep with you, I guess. Or pay to win to keep, I guess. I don't know how you want to call that. But with that, I think I might end the first episode there. I'm still going to be recording tonight. I just feel like I should split it up, because I think it's been about an hour. Let me see real quick, I guess. Yeah, with editing, I think that would be roughly an hour. So, thanks for watching. See you guys next time, and I hope you enjoy the series. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun replaying this game.